Hello, Anderson County. This is Councilman Brett Sanders recapping May the 6th, 2025. We got the budget 26 coming up. Council meeting. Tonight we had a couple of readings. One was second reading on our riparian buffers, which is basically a undisturbed area from a stream or waterway, and if it's less than 50 acres, it needs to be 50 feet buffer, and if it's greater than 50 acres, it needs to be a 100-foot buffer. We had a lot of people come in and speak from different organizations, and I think they did a great job, and I think it's passed second reading unanimously, and I think we'll see everything continue to move in a positive light moving forward. Also tonight we did pass our budget first reading. Basically it was title only. We just finished up, or I'm on the finance committee, and we just had a meeting where we sat down, and Chris Sullivan is actually joined our finance committee, and I think he's going to be a tremendous asset. I mean, he picks up on things very fast, and governmental accounting and normal accounting is two different entities. But we went through, and I wanted to have this first meeting. I had a lot of capital requests, primarily the solicitor's office. Also from the sheriff's department, the chief deputy came in. We were talking about staffing and stuff on the new jail and the time frame. You can't just hire someone and stick them out there. They have to have the proper training, and there's a time span between there. So we want to make sure that once the jail opens up, we have proper staffing with proper training in place. We also discuss civilian hires as well. There'll be some civilian positions, but mainly wanted Mr. Sullivan to sit down and see how it works when a department head or an entity comes to you, and you get your big budget book, and under capital, you see these numbers in there, and it just has solicitor, but you don't have the basic information behind, hey, this is why I need it, this is the day-to-day, this is what we've done with the budget that we had already, and this is how we think we can improve. So I like to sit down with department heads just for that reason. I think we're spending taxpayers' money, and I like to sit down with the department heads and them come up, and it's your opportunity to sell me and sell the finance committee and sell the residents of Anderson County on what you need. And there's a huge difference between a need and a want. And but I think we have an outstanding group of employees at Anderson County, department heads. They come in with needs, and sometimes being on the finance committee, some of the hardest thing is balancing out what you have, and knowing that you might not be able to fill all those needs this time. So it's a balancing act, but we got great employees. I think they're good stewards of the taxpayers' money, and they work hard on their budgets. And I think as a representative and being on council, I owe them the respect to sit down and talk with them and discuss it. So I was happy to see first reading done. We'll have some more meetings coming up. There was some discussion about maybe having a public one at may possibly the Civic Center, and I think Councilman Jimmy Davis brought that up, and I would love to see that. I would love to have everything there in an understandable way. And I'm not saying, if you don't deal with this on a daily basis, and if you do deal with it on a daily basis, it can get confusing. And I just think the people deserve to know how their money's being spent and where it's being spent, and have some input into that. And I think we'll hope to see that moving forward. Also, we had an ordinance tonight that had been tabled, I think, twice. And basically, it was on parking spaces for townhouses. And I think there was a list, I think, Greenville County, Beaufort County, Aiken County. There was a list of counties that was listed off that have the same setup as Anderson County. And there was a lot of them just, basically the same population and density that we have here. And I personally, and I don't think any other council members, barring with the exception of maybe one, has had an issue with this thing. But we did hire Code Source to come in and straighten out our ordinances, get it all under a standard, understandable ordinance. And my thing is, we'd sent that to Code Right. They looked at it and said, yeah, there's some things we can do, but I think it's wasting staff's time, wasting county council's time to pass something now that is going to be totally changed, may not happen at all, or may go through just like it was presented tonight. But as a council person, we get calls all the time, and I think it's and staff as well. I mean, once you start seeing a common theme, then there may be an issue or a problem, something that needs to be looked into and addressed. And until you get one or two calls, and all of a sudden it's a major issue, and you're going to rewrite an ordinance or change an ordinance for something that we really haven't thought through the long-term implications, and sometimes it's hard to do that, but you start seeing it. But I think this Code Right, they have worked with multiple counties on doing this, and I think they can help council, help with our ordinance system, or processes, and I think that it's going to turn out a better product that is easily or more easily understood by the people and just general public versus some developer or some business or something like that. I just think that we give them the proper time and the tools they need, we're going to have a great product. I just didn't, it did not pass tonight. I think it was like a 4-3, or was it a 4-3? 4-3. I think it was 4-3 tonight, not to pass. And I think we all understand needs and issues, but as we invest taxpayer money on this consulting and Code Right and getting a better product out there, it doesn't make sense just to keep doing the same thing that put us in this situation to begin with from years past. Let's back off a minute. If we have a major problem or something that needs to be addressed, or a dire issue, that's fine. But just changing something right now to be changing, I think is not a good idea. I think, and that's me personally. Other council members may think different, but if I'm going to invest taxpayers' money and coming up with a better solution and a better ordinance process, I'm not going to keep supporting things that doesn't need to be addressed or issued right now to start contaminating the process. So, just my 2 cents, but. That pretty much sums up our meeting tonight. Like I said, we had a lot of people coming out on the riparian buffer stuff, and I was excited to hear their input, and got to talk with several of them afterwards about concerns and issues I have. I'm all about our water cleanliness, but you can go in and research and water cleanliness, and I can find thousands of things that support my feelings, and I can do the contrary side and find thousands that support that. My thing is, I think every little bit we do helps. I just want to make sure that we're working out, or those organizations are working with other counties and communities upstream. We can do all the things and spend all the money in the world here in our little area, but if nothing's happening upstream, it's not going to change anything one bit. And you can research outboard motors, what the causes and issues that they're having. This algae issue that we had just recently on Lake Hartwell. I'm confused about that. I get to look and I'm like, man, we got buffer or riparian zones already on Lake Hartwell in almost all the areas because of the core line. Kiwi doesn't have any core line, and they have some of the cleanest water, around, especially compared to Hartwell. So I'm like, what is the difference there? So, it is basically, when you continue to research, it is the fluctuations of our lake level help contribute a lot to the issues that we have. So if you're not paying focus to your neighbor upstream and not dealing with the issues of the fluctuations of the lake generating power, there's a lot more that needs to be looked into it. But I would think any buffer would help on the quality. Surely it's got to help better than doing nothing. I think something needs to be done. I like the 50-foot riparian buffer myself. I live on 3 and 20 Creek, and I try to be a good steward of the creek. And the research has opened my eyes and educated me a lot more on the issue, and I look forward, and I sure council's looking forward to getting more information, and I think it's going to be a good thing. And in closing up, I just want to remind everyone there was a proclamation or a resolution honoring a couple of people on the Saluda River Rally that is coming up on. It's actually Rhythm on the River, and the Saluda River Rally are combining this year. It's June the 7th. And it keeps growing, and there's a lot. It's free music, food trucks, vendors. There is a lot going on, and bring your kayak, your canoe, your kids, your family blanket. Come out and enjoy Anderson County. Thank you.